C'est l'heure? Okay. Okay, welcome to this talk. It's about Eclipse 4, the Eclipse 4 architecture, and how you should use today this architecture to develop your new plugins. So we will show you with Patrik how you can create now pure E4 plugins on your application. So my name is Olivier Prouvost. I am an Eclipse consultant, and I provide consulting and training in France and Europe, and I'm also a committer on E4 tools and platform UI. And
I am Patrik Suzzi. I'm also an Eclipse consultant and platform committer, and I do nice stuff with Eclipse RCP and E4. And please enjoy the talk.
And you are located in Italy. So the goal of this talk is to explain you how to use the model fragment, and we will show you some enhancements we have done in the model fragment editor during the Hamburg Hackathon. Actually, the model fragments in Eclipse 4 were not very efficient, I would say 3 years ago. But now it's really a good technology to create your applications. And we will give you examples where you can mix a pure E4 plugin in an old legacy E3 application. So that now there is no reason to continue to use RCP3. Sometimes there are some exceptions, but usually for the basic stuff you can use a pure E4 plugin. So for this demonstration, I will show you some slides and a demonstration. Patrik will do a demonstration of, there will be 3 demos. For this demo, we use the latest version of Eclipse RCP for Eclipse for RCP and web developers. So we use, I think, the Oxygen version, but it works with the Neon version also. And we installed also the E4 spies that are available on the marketplace. So if you install Eclipse, you just go on the marketplace in the help menu, you search for E4 spy, and you can install the spies. The spies are necessary if you develop an Eclipse 4 application. So what about the modularity? Actually, the modularity in Eclipse, in an Eclipse 4 application, is defined using this mechanism. In an Eclipse application, in Eclipse 4 application, you have an Eclipse 4 XML file, which contains the main application model of your application. And so this is in a pure E4 application. You have also to distinguish the model coming from the legacy E3.x runtime, which is not necessarily available in your projects. It will be created live at runtime, but the principle is that you can create a fragment here in another project, of course in another project because you want to be modular, and this fragment will contribute to the application model, the current application model. So I will maybe, I will distinguish the pure E4 application from the 3.x application, which doesn't provide a file with the application model. The application model will be at runtime, but the mechanism is the same. The fragment will be included in the current model. So if you, for instance, have a sample application here, sample E4 application, we'll show you how to create it with the templates, because templates have been also updated in the Oxygen version. You can also add another plugin containing this fragment, and you can, for instance, contribute in the main menu of your application and add a sample example. All what we will do, you can do it with the Oxygen version. There is no code, everything is provided by the templates. So we will show you how to reproduce this during a demo. In the slides, we will show you the application content, application model content, and the fragment content here. So in this first slide, we explain that in the application model, I will not detail everything inside, but we have different entries, and one of them is the handler entry. The handler entry contains all the handlers for the commands, so the behavior of your commands. And to access to this, in the fragment, you can open model fragments. So model fragment is something that will be connected to your host model. And to do that, you can access using this annotation, xpath:/. It means, so there are two cases. You can put a pure ID of an application, but if you use an ID, it will be blocked on this ID. So you can only contribute to the application that has this ID. If you use xpath:/, you will say that you will contribute to any kind of application, and namely the legacy application coming from the 3.x runtime. And then if you say xpath, you will access to the root node of your application model, and then you select the components you want to contribute to. For instance, here the handlers. So you can find this using the find button, and you will get the list of the properties where you can contribute. This is an enhancement of the Hamburg hackathon we have done in December with Lars Vogel and other guys, and Patrik and other guys from the Vogela company. We fixed these bugs because it was really a blocker issue for contributing to the model. So when you have also the auto-completion in this field, so you can enter with control space, you can get all the fields you need. So when you have done this, this fragment will contribute to the model. So Patrik will do a demo of that. He will create a sample E4 application using just the templates from the plugin project. And then he will create another application with an E4 module, use xpath to launch the application, and then we'll show you how it works. So first of all, we create a project using the plugin project template. Just enter a name, compliant name for the plugin, so E4 app. And we will use the template, the default template. So to do that, we say that this make contribution to UI, and this is an RCP application. If you use that, you will have a list of templates, and we use the Eclipse RCP4 application, which contains a pure E4 application without dependencies to Eclipse UI. So in the next step, you can say that you want a default content that will initialize a sample model with the sample content. So when you do that, two windows are open, the application model and the standard plugin XML file and manifest. And there is a sample content inside. So there is also, and you have the part, the sample part in the model that will be displayed the first time. So we can launch the product because there is a product file. So we don't use, we use everything that is provided by the template, and in the product file you can launch the Eclipse application. When you do that, you will get this application containing your part with only a file menu. So now we will create a module that will contribute to this application, and this module will be, so we say module, but it's a plugin, of course. So we create another plugin project. We'll call it something and E4 module. And in the next step, this time we will not say this is an Eclipse RCP application. We say it's standard plugin. And if you go to the next step, we provided new templates for that, and we changed the name. Actually, we're saying that it's contributing using 4.x API. It means when you have 4.x in the list, it means the plugin will be a pure E4 plugin. A pure E4 plugin means that you don't have a dependency to Eclipse UI. If you have a dependency to Eclipse UI, it means you have to run your application with the compatibility layer. So we select this one. It will create the handler. So we can finish. And we get a fragment containing 3 entries with the xpath, so it's already defined. So you can see that we'll contribute to the commands entry of the application model using xpath. So it will contain a sample command and the handler and a menu contribution that will create an E4 handler in the main menu. Maybe you can click on the menu contribution node, this one, where you see the standard ID to say that you contribute to the main menu. So we can launch this. So we can mix the application and the module, and so we delete the application, and we had in the product definition we'll add a dependency because the product now depends if I use this additional module. And if we add this in the product file, and you add the required plugins, if you save that and you launch it again, you will get the application, and you must save the product. And maybe you forgot something. Yeah. It was not saved before. You must remove it and save it again. No? Oh, yes, must clear the. Yes. Don't forget to clear the workspace, because in E4 applications, in the one-time workspace directory, the current model is saved and reloaded when you restart the application. So if you don't clear the workspace, that will disappear. This is the demo effect. You must add this one also. Okay. And maybe you should remove the okay, launch it again. Yes, good demo. Maybe you should remove the yes. You should also remove the launch configuration, which is initialized with all the plugins, the first plugins. And then when you add the dependency in the product file, it will recreate the good plugins. You should add required plugins in the launch config also. I think it's okay. Yes. You should save the file before. Yes. Okay. Okay. So sorry about this manipulation, but you must clean everything before relaunching. So now you have this contribution with the handler. So we'll show you how it has contributed in the model with the next slide. So maybe you can switch on the slide. So this application is composed of 2 modules, actually. So the important tooling is the ModelSpy. With the ModelSpy, you will display information about the model. You must install it, and in the spies, you have several spies provided with Eclipse 4. One is dedicated to display the model. You can also display the context, injection context. This is another feature of the E4 runtime. You can also manage the CSS, so you can manage different elements. The spies are provided in a specific window, and are all displayed with their icon in the toolbar. So in the spy, you can open the live model and check that for instance, this menu handler has been added in the menu contribution entry of the main model. But it has been provided by the fragment. It was not in the initial model. So to do that, you must, for the demo, we'll show it in the demo. We'll switch to the demo. To launch a spy, you don't need to add additional dependencies, just add the spies in the launch configuration. So you can switch to the Eclipse, to your Eclipse. And in the current launch configuration, so you open it, you go in the plugins tab, and you add the E4 spies. So you can select all these spies. And then you must, yes, we remove the event spy because the event spy has a dependency to the JDT that will pull a lot of dependencies, so we don't need for this example. And we just add the required plugins, and when we launch, we can check that the component has been added. So to open the spies, there is also the spies are defined using the same mechanism. It adds automatically new with a spy submenu that is initialized dynamically with the extension of spies. So you can open the ModelSpy, and the ModelSpy is open in another window where you can browse the model, and you can see that, for instance, the menu contribution, or you can go in the menu contribution, or in the commands, you will see the objects. So this is when you will develop your plugins, you must install the spies, because you can check immediately how it works, and that's really a very handy tool and that will sometimes you will see that your element is not present, maybe it's not active or it's not displayed. You can check that in the spies. Okay, so now we will focus on another, and with the spies you can also, there's a connection, there's a wanderer. Just to explain in a few words how it works with the Eclipse 4 runtime. The Eclipse 4 runtime is today used by your IDE. When you launch Eclipse Neon or Eclipse Oxygen, you have this available in your IDE. Everything has been converted into an application model using the compatibility layer. So this is transparent for you. You don't have to do anything for that. And if you launch your IDE with the spies, if you install the spies in your IDE, you can access to this and you can navigate in your current IDE model. It's possible to do that. Okay, so we go back to the slides. And the next, the next explanation is about what you can extend in the fragment. So actually, all the elements that are available in the main, in the root node of your application model are extendable. So you can extend, of course, all the menus, all the parts. You can also add, for instance, perspectives using the snippet entry. There was a snippet in the model. And because the perspective must be instantiated in a specific perspective stack, which is maybe deep inside your model. So there was a specific entry in the model, whose name is snippet. And in the snippet, you can put example of objects that you will use at runtime when you open a perspective, for instance. So of course, you can open windows. It's what we use for the E4 spies. You can contribute to status bars, to the trim bars, to toolbars, to handlers, commands, and also add-ons. An add-on is a specific object that will initialize some stuff in the context, in injection context. So with this, you can contribute to, I would say, to the main objects of an application. If you have a very old legacy 3.x objects, maybe if you use activities or maybe very low-level objects implemented by extension points, maybe you will not find it directly, the entry in the model, but what you can do is to launch your application, to open the ModelSpy and to check where your object appears, and you can see where is the entry point. We explain how to contribute with XPath. It means we go to the top level object, but you can also put the ID of any object at any level in the application model. So it's possible also to do that. So if you want, so this is another explanation. We want to create, in the module, we want to contribute to the file menu, which is already provided in the main application. To find this, once again, we created this slide with the application on the left and the fragment on the right. So in the application model, you can find you can see there was a file menu with a file ID. So when you contribute to a new contribution in your fragment, you open a model fragment. You can enter file, and if you click on the find button, it will propose all the elements that have a file ID, and it will propose elements with a specific type. So it means that you will hook your fragments on this file object. And then in the second element, because when you define something, you must say what is the element and what is the feature of this element you want to contribute to. When you click on the find button, it will automatically detect now this is a menu, and it will propose the composition available in the menu. So in this case, it's the, I don't remember the name, is children, and automatically now the editors will filter the available children that you can create in the menu. So in the previous versions of this editor, you get the list of all the elements defined in the application model, so it was really the mess because we couldn't know. You could add, for instance, a command, or I would not say a command, a window in a menu. So that's really not compliant. So now it's filtered. You have also the auto-completion. And if you right-click on this model fragment, or on this one, on the model fragment, excuse me, because it's bound to the file menu, you right-click on it in the new menu, new child, you will get also the list. So it's filtered now. And you can add, so if you do that in the demo, you can get in the contributed item. So we'll switch to the demo. In our module, we will open the fragment, which was created by, and we can create another fragment, a model fragment. So we go on the extended element ID, we can enter file or find, and we can search for file. Yes, we must say that we are looking for a menu, excuse me, and then you have the list of all the available objects in the, I would say, in the workspace. So you have the file available, so you can select this. So on this element now, we must select the feature name. So if you click on the find, there is also the auto-completion. If you click on the find, automatically, because file is a menu, you get the menu opened, and you can select the feature on which you can contribute. And then it's okay, and the list of elements are provided here. So we can add another menu item that will be bound to, so this is the item. Okay, contributed with an E4 application. We can save this, and if we launch it again, so there will be no behavior bound because we didn't put an handler, but basically in the file menu now of your application, you will get this contribution. So this is really a very important point for the E4 adoption. I would say for the E4 design patterns adoption, because you can do that, of course, with the E3 3.x extensions. But as you can see, when your model fragment is defined and is opened, you can add as many elements as you want. Could you open the fragment again? Yes, in your IDE. Here we added only an handle item, but you can also add a menu with a sub-menu with different elements inside, and you can see exactly the hierarchy of objects. And if you compare with 3.x, if you want to create a menu, you will open an extension, and everything will be displayed and defined at the same level. You must understand how the location URI are defined, and you cannot see the hierarchy. So that's really more user-friendly, or I would say developer-friendly. So the last question is that, can we do that for 3.x application? Because of course that's cool, but you are running on the 4.x with a 4.x menu model, and we created a pure 4.x application. So of course the question is, we have a lot of legacy code with 3.x, so can we do that? So of course, because if you are running with the runtime of Neon or Oxygen, the application model is created live. And actually the mechanism is like this. You have your 3.x plugins. So something about the core plugins, it's really important to separate the core plugins from the UI plugins. The core plugins are fully compliant with E4. You don't have to change anything inside. Even if you want to run with the compatibility layer, you don't have to change your UI plugins. It will be analyzed by the compatibility layer, and using a legacy model which is internal. The file is defined in a plugin internally. You cannot access to this file. So when you launch the compatibility layer, you must not create a main application model. It's created at runtime. Everything will be mixed, and you will get a live model. So this is really what is running in your IDE and even with your 3.x application. So there are two solutions. You continue to use the 3.x mechanism to contribute to your application, and you still use your compatibility layer, or you can start to create new plugins that will define fragments on processors that will include elements inside the model. So we didn't speak about the processor in this talk, we don't have time, but processor is another mechanism to contribute to the model using functions, or I would say using code. So you just inject the application and you can contribute to any element of your application. What we have shown today is how to define fragments, which is I would say a description of what you want to add. So it's not really dynamic in terms of if you want to add a menu with different values defined by, for instance, by extensions. In this case, you must use a processor if you want to do that. So if you want to migrate at the end your application, the idea is to, of course, you keep your 3.x plugins, core plugins, and the main application model where the main application RCP, the main RCP plugin, excuse me, that contains, if you have done some RCP application, the advisors and the application toolbar advisor and so on. You can, in this case, create your initial model, so the application E4 XML file, and then all the fragments you have written before will still be compliant with your application model, but this time the application will be your application model. And in this case, you can remove the compatibility layer. So this use case is only when you can remove all the dependencies to Eclipse UI. And when you have no more dependencies on Eclipse UI, you can remove also the compatibility layer, and you can start directly with your application model. So we'll show you that the module we have done is also compliant with the 3.x. So we'll not change the code, and we'll create a 3.x application here. This is a standard 3.x application, and we'll run again with our module, and we'll see that it will contain menus, additional menus. So we switch to the demo. And to do that, we create a new plugin again with plugin project. We select that this time, so we put a name. So this is the E3 app. In the next page, we say again, this is an RCP application to get the template in the next page. And this time we select RCP 3.x application with a view. So this sample will get an extension of view. And we can add branding, we can go to finish. Finish. So we can maybe open the extension tab just to show, Patrik, maybe you can open, yes, the extension where you have all the extensions, the 3.x extensions that are defining our application. So now we can run this application using the module, or we can run it, yes, okay, launch it like this. So this is the basic 3.x application with nothing inside, only the file menu and this sample view. And maybe, Patrik, you should scroll it on the right because it's split. Yes. Or just scroll it. Okay. Anyway, so we can keep this application. Now you just check it. Check the screen. It's not. It's split on the. It's cut. Okay. Okay, it's better. So this is the standard application. So now we can change the launch configuration to add the module. And we will see that the fragment, so we add, of course, the dependency. So if you run the application once again, did you clear the workspace? So in this case, once again, the runtime workspace, the E4 runtime has been launched. So a default application model has been stored in the runtime workspace. So if you want to restart, when you develop your E4 application, you must always clear the workspace to be sure have the same. And this time we see the E4 handlers and the file menu containing did you contribute to the file menu also? Yes. Maybe the ID is not.
The spice.
Ah yes, you must. Ah yes, you must add the spice. Yes. Yes, you should add the spice also. Yeah. So this application you can launch the spy again. Go to the one configurations. And so we have the spies, except the event spy for the moment, we don't need it. We have the required plugins. Didn't check if you clear the workspace. And you can open the spies on your application model again on your application. So it's a fully E4 one-time application actually. So you can check that everything has been contributed, the menu contribution, for instance, or in the different entries. And if you change, yes, and if you change the model, you can see that the application is changing. So this is a result of the different extensions defined in the 3.x application. So that it has been translated by the compatibility layer. So that's it for the demo. Maybe we can switch to the slides. So just a few words about the hackathon. Hackathon are events organized by the foundation or by the community where you can fix a lot of bugs. So we joined to the hackathon of Hamburg in December last year. And that was very interesting because we really wanted to, the goal of this hackathon for us was to fix these bugs in the Fragment model editor, in the model editor in general. So we fixed, as you can see, a lot of bugs. We just launched this query on the, so there was a URL with this query also. We fixed maybe more than 40 bugs on the Fragment model. So, of course, Eclipse is an open source project. It's based on the, I would say, on the community and on the members and on the committers. But as you know, everybody has a lot of work, so we cannot focus on several bugs. So this is a good idea to contribute to hackathon and to really focus in 3 or 4 days on these bugs and to fix everything. So of course, you can only fix bugs that you find in Eclipse. So when you see something wrong or something strange, feel free to open a bug and we try to fix it as soon as possible. I think it's done. We are on time, yes? Okay, so if you have any question, yes, we have 3 minutes for questions. If you have any question, or you can ask questions also after, yes?
So, in which cases do we have to clean the workspace? Because like you have like a running Eclipse and you install new plugins.
Yeah.
I guess it would be inconvenient to if you had to like
yeah.
clean your workspace.
Yeah. Okay. There is also an optional parameter. It's clear persistent state. If you add clear persistent state, it will only clean the model, and you will keep your data in your workspace, in a one-time workspace. So yes, we did that because it was more convenient for us. But there is also the dash clean option that will remove the cache, the plugins that have been cached in the one-time workspace. So this is an option. All of this is also the demo is on the GitHub, on my GitHub OP coach, in the conference repository if you want to try it. But I think you can reproduce this very easily because it's only, you must install Oxygen to do this because you will get the latest version of the templates also. If you use Neon, the names of the templates are different. Any other question? So now you have no excuse to still use Eclipse 3.x. Now you can really try this. That's cool. And you will see that the tooling is always better. The spies are really important. And I think that now you have the keys to start this. So that's, if you have any other question, you can meet us at the booth, at the OP coach booth just behind this wall, or you can speak of any problem you have. Thank you very much.